Noon the show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith, Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night, 'cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
Yeah, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie joins me now as we move into the second hour of our programming. Welcome aboard.
On a Thursday.
Yeah, it is. It's the end of the week is coming. Tomorrow we'll have the entire gang in the office. Julie is in town. Greg, I think, is not sick anymore.
He's feeling a lot better. He even responded to a wreck yesterday. Yeah, it's good to see him feeling better, back in the office, and having a good time. Now we're praying for Lisa. She's got a little down under the weather.
She caught it from Greg, I take it.
Well, that's what we're going to say.
It circulates through a household.
Greg said there was another reason, but we don't believe him as much as we believe her.
Yeah, always believe the wife to stay on the safe side of things.
Right.
How do y'all feel? We hope good. You know, I mentioned a moment ago, it may take me a few weeks there to catch on to new names of people that will be taking over offices in the United States. I'll get there. The girl that is the attorney, what was her name?
Yeah, Bondi.
Bondi. That girl's tough. She seems to know what she's got going on.
And a little snappy, which sometimes we need that. We need somebody who's going to be a little snappy at times when you ask stupid stuff.
We've got Obama, who will be attending the inauguration. We do have Clinton and... who's the other one that I'm forgetting? Bush will be attending. I don't think any of them are going to attend the luncheon, though. I think they're only coming for the actual ceremony. So that's okay.
But it looked like Trump and Obama kind of made amends.
Am I right in saying that even Bush didn't attend the one before because he was still mad about Jeb?
I'm sure, yeah. Well, I mean, he's your brother.
Just a reminder, Jeb can't fix it.
No.
That was really a doubt. They truly thought that Jeb had it and could be the next. And that would have been neat to have had three people from the same family be presidents. That would have been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for
if you can do the job.
If you can do what you're supposed to do.
Didn't happen.
I think W kind of messed it up. He got laxed. Daddy said, "Read my lips. No new taxes. Let me sign this tax bill."
The family
you're two or three that didn't quite do what they say they was going to do.
You ever seen rats that were high?
Well,
on drug induced.
Oh, you're talking about
actual little critters there.
No, I hadn't.
Big problem in Houston. They've broken into the what do you call that little room where they
the evidence room?
The evidence room. Rats are high as a Georgia pine in Houston right now. I bet there's a lot of drugs in that evidence room in Houston, Texas. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to put in there to get rid of them, but
how about a cat?
If you see one out there moonwalking, you know what's going on in Houston. A cat then we'd have a high cat.
Now you've got, what's that?
Because they would eat the
catnip.
Catnip.
Oh, yeah, you think catnip tears a cat up. Well, now they might just lay down. Of course, that cat would be hungry, so he'd get more mice.
Can you imagine being on an airplane and they go, "Our flight's been delayed for a few moments. Your captain's been arrested for DUI. We'll be back in a minute." We're waiting for a new captain to arrive.
The funniest man in America. He said, "You really want to make an airline unhappy? Wait till the stewardess comes around and says, 'Hi, what would you like to drink?'" He said, "You just look at him and say, 'I'll have whatever the captain's having.'" Well, there you go.
Happened there was Southwest Airlines.
Oh, man. Like, who's going to pull him over?
A TSA officer smelled it on him. Boy. He did not need to be in that plane. I don't care how you slice it. I don't know how much he had.
Well, he won't be in another plane.
But any is too much, isn't it?
You know, I indulge in a drink every now and then.
Shame on you.
But I'm not going to get in an airplane and start driving people around.
Yeah, don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with having a nip, but when you got to go to work,
Yeah, that's not the time to do it.
not the time to do it. You know, come on.
A few of the headlines shaping America as we begin this. Snow is the big one. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth here in just a second about snow and show you that chart that we had up for just a moment ago from the National Weather Service of what it looks to be coming, and it's a possibility. We'll talk about that next as we begin this day together. Bundle up before you head out. 29 this morning, Odie, but it will double, so you might need a short sleeve underneath.
See, I'm already prepared.
61 later today. We'll be right back. When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp to trail riding or just working around on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. As we mentioned, let's get into cold weather first on the first part of the show before we get into headlines. This is cold weather that's going to start moving in on Sunday night and will remain basically through about Thursday. And we'll show you the temperatures here in just a second. This is a long duration. Even on Tuesday, it's not going to get above freezing at this point. Now, again, everything is subject to change when it comes to the weather because it does change so frequently here in the South. Sunday night through Wednesday, those what we're looking at that. Now,
That was highlighted in our particular area, but you're pretty much, the whole state is in this freeze warning.
Yes.
It is not good for anybody in Mississippi.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think I can pull that up really quick and show this. Yeah, here we go. Let me get back to this screen here, Odie, and what you're talking about right there. Yeah, that's the entire state.
You know, the only thing we've got really going good for us is we don't have a whole lot of precipitation rain coming in at the beginning of this. Like you said earlier, all that can change.
And it always does.
And it does.
At the blink of an eye, this stuff is boom, and it's changed on us. Here's what we're looking at. Let's look at this from the National Weather Service. Here's our record highs, and not our record highs, but our highs and lows for next week. Sunday is the change there. We got 67 on Saturday, and it's going to be 27 degrees colder during the daytime hours. Look at that.
Yeah, 19
below. Here's where we start to see the chance of snow. Now, could there be something in the late hours of Monday? It could be. We're going to start seeing this stuff roll in with it's been, at one point they were saying it was at least 50. I heard 60 at one point. Now it's showing roughly 40% chance of snow on Tuesday. This would linger into the nighttime hours and still have a 40% chance. Now, during the daytime hours, Odie, we're looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. We don't know. It could be an additional ½ inch to an inch that night.
It's a lot of change. This is something we'll be paying a lot of attention to. Starting today, we've got a weather briefing at 10 a.m. Conversations with schools will probably start this afternoon. They've got Monday off, but then what about Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? What is that looking like?
All right, now let's look at what the National Weather Service sent out yesterday when it comes to where they think the lines will be, who will get the most snow. And this is interesting. Most of the time, North Mississippi gets more snow than we do. Yeah. Well, it's reversed as we pull this up to show you. This is the chances of snow. This is a line from right at Macon, Mississippi. Let's put it right there, Odie, right around where the Oak Tree Inn is at the 4-way stop there, right at McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken in Noxubee County. It will go due west and cut across Noxapater. Now, that's not many miles in between Noxapater and Lake Teocata. Could Lake Teocata still see a good bit? You could. But that's roughly the line through there, and this will take in as we cut across here through Neshoba County, and then we see that Atala County up here has got just a minimal chance of snow, and then it'll go back through Yazoo and out of the river just north of Vicksburg. I'll put that about 20 miles due north of Vicksburg is what we got southward. Everything north of there has a level 1 chance of snow. You'll probably get something. That's your Louisville, Columbus Air Force Base, Mississippi State, and then the Delta region should get something. But we're showing, as you'll look at here, a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain is possible. Greatest chances of impacts will be travel. And what's that next word we're looking at? Power outages. So that tells us at this point, kind of be prepared for what's coming next week. Have a little extra food on the side. If you can't go to town, go ahead and get your medicines this week. If you need firewood, get that now. If you need to have propane for your gas tank, go ahead now so the gas man won't be rolling around and he can't get to everybody. Get that done today, tomorrow, no later than Saturday, because he'll be last minute. Folks do forget. With that being said, if you've got a generator, go ahead, pull that out, make sure it's running.
Under load. Don't just crank this thing up and let it run and say, okay, we're good. You've got to stick it under a load, let it run under a load. Generators, if you hook this up to your box, make sure your breaker is tripped where you do not backfeed power into the power lines. If there's power lines down and the power crews are out working on this and you're feeding energy back through their power lines, you could hurt or kill someone by being unresponsible for your generator. Make sure you do it responsibly. Make sure you cut that main power off so it doesn't backfeed to hurt someone.
How many of us have lost the feeling in our arm trying to crank a chainsaw that hadn't been cranked in 2 years? You might want to go ahead and check that today, because with that being, and what I mean by this is snow and things make limbs crack and fall, and you've got a mess in your yard. There's going to be roadways that'll have to be cleaned up. It's just going to happen. Our friends at Wilson Saw will help you out. Now, I don't know how many saws are in the back at this moment, but if you need yours, it won't crank today. Hurry down, because half a day on Saturday, I think, is what they're open usually till noon.
A can of gas. Bring your chain in there. They can sharpen your chain. Get you an extra one. Go down there on 22nd Avenue to Sanders.
You know,
pull in there and get you some gas.
There's people that put people on the moon. And I have never been good at sharpening a chainsaw. It don't never work right after I get done.
They make a gadget for it now.
That gadget don't work. I put the file, and I don't know what I do wrong.
Yeah, they got them with electric.
Yeah. Scotty Ray needs help when it comes. But I've been
take it down there to Wilson's and they can do it like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. I can't do it. I've watched people that do it. They're great at it. That's not me. There's people who are blessed, and Wilson Saw will handle all this for you if you need anything when it comes to that. Frigid weather as we're looking at all of this.
Now, this is that if you're going to the Gulf Coast to get away from all this, you better take a jacket. Because you're not going to get far.
That is what it looks like nationwide here.
Yeah.
Our weather is going to be, well, unsettling next week, just to say the least. Now, let's be honest about this. Could we come in Sunday night and there be a new forecast that says no snow? We could. It could say 6. We don't know. No one knows. But we do know something is coming. You've got a visitor coming, and we're doing our best to warn you about this. Let's take a look here, Odie, of what we've got on live radar this morning. Look how good this looks right now.
It doesn't. You don't think we've got a winter storm that is headed our way. So
that's what we've got. We thought you might want to know everything dealing with weather this morning.
You know, heat. if you've got electric heat and that's your main heat source, but you're smart and you've got gas as a backup heat, but you haven't run your gas heat because you hadn't needed it. We would, especially if we see any ice. Ice weighs so heavy on tree limbs, they're going to come down, possibly on top of power lines. You're going to be without power, and now you're going to have to rely on your gas heat. Does it work?
What Odie means is, have you ever climbed down to your gas logs, click, 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 and you had to stand up and say an ugly word that you normally wouldn't say?
Kick it twice and still hope,
Go ahead and
nothing.
call the gas company today to have them come out and clean those lines out. What it gets in there is dust. It's dust inside that little
bitty particles.
And you can't see it. And if you can't get it out, call the professionals. They'll come in no time and swoop that out so you'll have heat.
But you better hurry because there's other people calling them too, and they are liable to be swamped between now and then.
That's right. Lots more to come. We'll be right back as we'll get into some headlines. And what was that I heard last night? We'll tell you about that and where it was at the Scotty Ray Report.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. We have to give the quote of the day to Erica. If you can't drive in sunshine, stay off the roadways when it snows.
All right, Erica, coming from Clark County, and now here you are in Pennsylvania, not way up there. Have you got used to it, and how long did it take you to get used to driving in this winter weather stuff up there?
I don't know.
So,
It's an art to driving in snow if you're not used to it. Don't tap them brakes quick because
you do that by the seat of your pants.
And, does anybody really own in Mississippi, maybe you have, snow chains?
We got snow chains.
I'm going to get some at some point. As I mentioned, overnight gunfire last night, Odie, as we go straight to the source, the 3100 block of 14th Place. Now, there's no injuries or damage that has been reported of this. This was in the overnight, early morning hours that we would get the report of this. Again, it was a vehicle involved. We also had this was somewhere 7:30, 8:30 last night. We would get the first reports of gunfire that was happening in the 1100 block of Grand Avenue. Now, this is going to be right near I-20, Mississippi Music, around there, just across the roadway there, underneath the interstate northward is where that would be. So no one hurt, no one injured in either one of these, but we also had gunfire reported yesterday during the daytime. So where we've had a period of a lull of not a lot going on, what I'm saying is things are starting to happen. It's going to be warm for a day or so. Who knows what will happen? It'll be cold Monday. Normally, most people will go back inside come Monday. But 60 today, 60 through the weekend, only leads you to wonder what will come about.
If you and your family don't get along real good, somebody might have to move out for a few days come this weekend, just to be careful. I lived in Omaha for 2 years before Pittsburgh.
Charlie Daniels talked about going to Omaha.
Yeah. So you bounced back and forth, but I'm glad you're doing good up there.
Oh, there you go. Hey, we go to Philadelphia next. There has been an arrest, and we want to be clear about this. This person never left the scene after the shooting happened in Philadelphia. This would be at the Chevron. This would be near Holland Avenue in Maine. On Tuesday night is when all this happened here. As we pull this up, Sheriff, I almost said Sheriff. It's going to be Chief Eric Lyons made the arrest of, I'm going to call that Mr. Marshall. He's 25 years old of Philadelphia, and he was arrested in the shooting that took place there. Andrew Carter was shot. He was 21 years old. He was shot multiple times. From what I'm understanding, Odie, it was about 4 times that he was struck. This all stems back to what we're understanding in a press release. And as you look at this, let me pull this back up and show everybody. If you'll click here on the picture, and then you go here, here's the official press release that describes every bit of this. I would call it a family disagreement that most likely led to this unfortunate shooting that happened.
Wow.
And if you want to know more about it, read that. But it is a very complicated, multiple things that went on that led to all of this. So we got one man in the hospital in critical condition still. Stable is the word they're using. Hit at least 3 times in the leg and maybe once in the arm as they try to give him medical aid there in Jackson. If you were the kingpin, the drug lord, what would you keep in your swimming pool?
In my swimming pool?
Well, yes, sir.
A pet shark.
Well, how about 8 pet alligators? That's what they're saying that the Picayune King had.
And Picayune had Alamo gators?
He had 8 of them in his swimming pool, along with multiple things that he shouldn't have had inside his house. This has been an ongoing operation to where they've been trying to get the Picayune King for quite some time.
The Picayune King.
The 14 firearms in the list. Y'all read this. The police department was very comical in the way they wrote up everything about this, of how he was trying to destroy their city. The Picayune King has been taken down. Hello.
They pet alligators?
Well, that's up for discussion. It could have been a place where if you made the Picayune King mad.
Oh, he fed them.
We've seen that on James Bond movies before.
Well, that's true.
But he's no longer at this point going to be a problem for the Picayune Police Department. The kingpin has been taken down.
Well, those rats ought to be happy if they get into that container.
That's correct. That's correct there. Hey, I was out and about yesterday. I ran up on this beautiful young lady, Miss Marie Benneman. She was so sweet. Me and her took a picture together, and I appreciate her. DeKalb, Mississippi is where she calls home.
DeKalb. But they still roll up the sidewalk.
Dynamite.
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday afternoon. Dynamite City of the South. And I don't know. Union used to close down everything on Thursday afternoon also. Am I right in saying that's when it had something to do with farming?
It was a cow day.
Farming?
It was. Yeah, you had your cow sales.
Okay.
Yeah, and everybody went to the sale to either sell or look at buying, and so yeah, they just rolled uptown and went to the sale.
Okay, now we know. We had something fall in the road last night out on Dixie Highway School Road. Here we go, Odie. Big old tree fell, and of course that's a dead tree that just fell across the road, and it took them about an hour to get all that cleaned up. Let me blow that picture up a little bit bigger. See how big tree that was?
It was a big old tree.
Do a little damage to your car should you find that.
Yes, it would.
So they've got all of that cleaned up.
Yeah.
Now, I have not gotten official word on this, but there is a good chance there was some loss of life last night in an accident. And we'll get the rest of the story of that this morning on Highway 15. This would be in the utmost southern portion of Jasper County as we look down this. A helicopter was flown in for a third person that was injured. Oh, it was a head-on collision there near Stringer. Our thoughts, our prayers go out to all of those involved in that. It was a mess. Again, I do think there was loss of life, and we'll verify everything this morning as daylight comes and as we get in everybody at the Highway Patrol to talk to them about that accident.
That's tough. That is tough. Prayers are with everybody on that.
Did you happen to look up last night?
No, I didn't.
God was out painting again.
Beautiful. Now, I'm glad his paintings don't get destroyed. We just get a new one every day.
Look at this. This was Dalewood here.
Man.
Look at how pretty this is.
That's telling us, hey, y'all watch out.
That's North Frontage Road there.
Weather.
Yeah, right over there is going to be where Wilson Saw is on the distance, isn't it? That's the edge of Meridian, isn't it?
Wilson Saw.
That'd be on that.
What is that right
there? This is I-20 there, North Frontage Road.
Yeah, going towards Alabama.
No, this is going toward Jackson. That's going to New South Ford sits here.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you've got Queen City Truck Stop off in the distance there with it.
Yep. On down there a little bit. Wilson Saw right there behind.
There it is. That's going to be 29th Avenue.
Yeah. You see those stairs for the handicap walk.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's actually 22nd Avenue Bridge then.
The 22nd Avenue Bridge.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I thought that was 29th. Yeah. But that is 22nd Avenue Bridge. Mm-hmm. Then there's new steps there. You're right. Eagle-eyed. And we just got... Here's Kemper Lake.
Kemper Lake.
Well, we had to take out... Too many cars was going over it, Odie.
So we had a stockpile of concrete and had to put it somewhere. So we figured we'd just stack it on top of the bridge.
Yeah, in case, the wood below needed extra weight put on it.
Well, I mean, it was already putting a strain on it. We're waiting for all those extra batting cages to come so we can cage up that whole walk around. I'm sorry.
Maybe they were trying to slow down traffic out of downtown Meridian for a hot dog stand there. Get your hot dogs before you leave. It does slow down things getting out of Meridian.
I thought somebody just bought into a tire shop, so you can bust your tires when you're
turning there.
Yeah. I mean, there's no sense in making this a rounded corner. Let's just bring it to a point.
It does make you wonder from time to time. Can we just go back to two-way streets everywhere? Come on. I mean, really. Two-way streets. I'd be happy.
And look at the parking lanes on the side of the road are half as long as the cars we drive.
Oh, yeah, things have changed.
Oh, that's a 4-lane road, not when people's parked. It's only a 1 lane.
Well, let's talk about that. If you're coming up 22nd Avenue, you go over the bridge to downtown, you pass Weidman's. You come to the red light there on the right, you've got Harvest Grill, and you want to take a left there by the bank and go left to 8th Street.
Yep.
From there over to the parking garage. You do good to weave down through there, and there's just too many cars. Yeah. You can't hardly pass a
it's
car.
1 1/4 lane for 2 of y'all to go down.
It's like this. Everybody knows it.
And it's got a 5-foot parking place for an 8-foot car.
And that's why you see so many cars up on the
curve.
But it is sometimes very hard to navigate from there to the Temple Theater. And don't park in front of the Temple Theater because I'll never be able to get around you.
Yes. Some people have got to be more intellectual than their
well, and I realize that our street structure is very old, and there's really no way to widen that stuff now.
Well, how about we put a parking garage somewhere and people can walk downtown?
Really?
Oh, wait a minute. We tried that. It's only one way in and one way out, and people they can't come out easy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We rented a lot of that to a hotel, so that's not open for the public.
Oh.
Wait a minute. People don't want to walk around downtown because they're not as safe as they think they should be.
In a parking garage. A few things, but doesn't the city use a large portion of that to park their cars in that? Because I see them from the road.
Well, I mean, nobody else is.
And I'm being honest, I have never been inside of it ever.
I've used it a couple times.
I have not.
Not many, because you get something going on, you get quite a few cars in there. You can't hardly get out.
It is a traffic jam trying to get out.
Because then you're going the same way that everybody else is trying to come into.
Baptist, that one works pretty good. There's 2-way in. It's quick.
Yeah. You go in one way, you come out the other.
Okay, we're going to leave the parking garage alone, move on to something else. Bound to be something else we can talk about.
Yeah, we'll find something.
Hang on. We'll be right back as we continue our morning. We had a lot of traffic stops yesterday with handcuffs being shown. More about that to come.
Hi, folks. Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Rockhouse Gun and Pound, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rock House Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rock House Gun and Pawn. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger, plus they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. A day that went down in history that would make a lot of people millionaires.
Oh.
It would bring out the bad in a lot of people. Why? Prohibition began today in 1919. And it would make bootlegging one of the most popular things that ever went on. It was all about the federal government wanted more money.
That's right.
They weren't making any money off of that liquor there.
And here comes NASCAR.
That's what would come out of it. That's if you say anything good come out of it, that's what would happen there.
Yeah. Well, I'd have said it was good a few years ago.
Yeah, you're right. That's changed also. Yeah. Everything about it. I mean, back when we had Ricky Bobby to watch and great entertainers like that.
Yeah.
Cal Naughton Jr. I mean, what a driver.
Like
Old Spice.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you got.
There have been some great NASCAR drivers.
Oh.
As we go back to 1943, this guy would be born. And we don't understand, truly, we don't understand God's plan. We don't. How can a child be born blind and never get to see the world? I don't understand some things, but sometimes he uses those people to help others influence, and that's what he done here with Ronnie Millsap. Born on this date, and he just went on and went on. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Also, on his birthday back in '82, he had a #1 hit today.
Man,
what goes on when the sun goes down? The list just goes on. Smoky Mountain Memories, Smoky Mountain Rain.
Yeah.
Ronnie just had hit after hit after hit. Good guy. Captain Crunch and You in the Morning.
Well, I mean, we take for granted. And the things we say, well, we can't do that. We can't do it. This guy right here has never seen the light of day,
Nope.
a piece of paper, a beautiful flower, a beautiful woman. Not the way we see. But look what he's done. He was talented. Could play the piano.
Yes, he was.
Could sing. Just, hey, look, that right there is an inspiration to everybody.
Can you sing I Don't Like Spiders and Snakes? And that ain't what it takes.
Spiders and snakes.
And that ain't what it takes to love me.
I remember the song.
Jim Stafford, born on this day back in 1944. And I can't tell you a single thing that he ever done outside of that.
He was the one that sang that one.
He sure was. He was a lot back in the day, the early Nashville, the Ralph Emery days. He would be a guest, comedian type guy. And I Don't Like Spiders and Snakes. 1942, we would lose a legend today in a plane crash.
Oh, wow.
Anybody remember this beautiful woman there? Carolyn Bard. Of course, she was married to Captain Rhett Butler.
That's right.
Clark Gable. Somebody told me the other day that I shouldn't call him Captain Butler. Well, that's what he's remembered for.
Well, I mean, that's who he portrayed.
He may have done other things, but he's still Captain Rhett Butler.
Yep.
As we look ahead, this one, 1974, would be his biggest time in life, known as the Silver Fox in country music. He had a lot of hits, this one probably being the big one there. What Goes On Behind Closed Doors. It went #1 today in 74. Because no one, I can't carry a tune, but y'all know where I'm going with that.
In a bucket.
He also sang Wildwood Weed. We're getting word on that. Did he do Cow Patty? Yippee-ki-yay, Cow Patty.
Cow Patty.
Did he do that?
Oh, I don't know.
I'd forgotten about Cow Patty.
Well, Barry had to bring that up.
This was a sad day in 1973. I lived to watch this. Hop Sing and all the folks that would come visit. Little Joe was my favorite.
Yeah.
As it would come to an end, Bonanza ended in 1973, which would open the gate for Little House on the Prairie a little bit later there. Michael Landon.
Man.
He was a great actor. Hoss. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guy than Hoss.
Now who did he share his horse with?
Ben shared his horse with Gunsmoke. That was Matt Dillon's horse also.
That's right.
That tan horse, it was on both shows.
Well, he was a good actor, wasn't he?
Oh, it was. And
I mean,
then
you had two shows wanting you at the same time.
Lauren Green, if I am not mistaken, adopted the horse and kept him for his last 20 years of his life after the show.
Well, good
Interesting
deal.
there.
Yeah.
Old Hoss. I never adjusted, after Adam left the show, they had this little redheaded kid that came on Bonanza there that tried to, it just didn't work for me. Never worked there. Kate Moss, anybody know her? 1974, she was born, a model, among other things that she's done in life. 1975.
There's my fella right there.
Did you watch this show?
I did.
I did. The guy that could solve a crime from his wheelchair. We're talking about Ironside. Raymond Burr is Ironside.
Yep. Two of my favorite shows.
Which is better? Perry Mason?
I like Perry Mason. Ironside's good, but and there's a lot of similar, so similar. But Matlock and Perry Mason, and then throw in some Ironside. That's me.
You feel like going brushing your teeth now?
No.
Donnie and Marie premiered
Go
today.
buy some.
That's some teeth, y'all.
Yeah.
Just look at the entire family there. Believe it or not, they're in their upper 70s now. Ted Cassidy would pass away today in 1979 is when he passed away. Do y'all remember this guy?
Rang.
Was his name Lurch? Was that
Lurch?
his name? Lurch.
Yep.
That was a big part of that show for years. That was a big fella.
Yeah, he was.
Large.
6'9".
Na, 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 na. Angel is a centerfold. Anybody remember the Jay Giles Band? It was big hit there as we go back for 1985. That was it. They ended the stapling of the picture in the middle there.
Yeah.
And before long, it would just go away altogether. The Jay Giles Band was really good. I like
don't have
that.
a lot of that now, do they?
What's that?
The centerfold pictures like we had growing up.
I didn't have any. I don't know what you're talking about.
You had Daisy Duke. You had Farrah Fawcett.
I went on down to the TG&Y and spent my $7 that I had cut grass and bought my Farrah poster.
Where's the kids? They over there swinging that little window shopping poster section.
Oh yeah, because you had to move the.
Yeah, because it was one of those sections. It was like a big picture frame, had a poster on each side. Then you had to get the corresponding number and then find it in the
You
tray.
remember, don't you?
Well, yeah, spent a lot of time there.
1989, this girl would come out, and she is absolutely great. I think the world of her. Anybody remember Patty Loveless? It would be today that "Don't Toss Us Away" was released to radio. Oh, what good music that was! She's done a lot with Vince Gill through the years as well. 1993 would make an appearance today. She was a little strange. The show was almost left a little.
Yeah.
As we would go back to remember Medicine Man, Johnny Cash made an appearance on there. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Medicine Woman. Yeah.
I can't remember the guy that she dated on there, but she was always chasing him, wasn't she? 1997, we would remember this. He had a flat, if I remember, on his Porsche. And we would soon learn this is before any bad doings happened to Bill Cosby, but he would lose his son today. He was murdered, I believe, on a freeway.
I remember that.
On the 405, there's what it says there.
Yep, I remember that.
That's bad. I don't care whatever becomes in life. We hate that happen there. 2010, we would lose Carl Smith. He was 82 years old. He was our early part of country music of all went on. Carlene Carter's daddy, Carl Smith. Let's see here. Remember Dave Madden? He was the guy from the Partridge Family that pretended to be the manager. He passed away today back in 2014. He may have done other things, but that was one of his biggest parts that he done. Yep. You know this one?
I don't know. The name didn't give me anything.
Didn't? But what did?
Huh. Well, I know him as the professor.
There you go. Russell Johnson also passed away.
Get your hands
in
off
14. They had a thing going, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. But she didn't want to upset Gilligan. And Gilligan was too scared to talk to her.
He was scared of women, period, wasn't he?
Yeah, what but two of them? Well, you had Lovey. Sorry.
Just didn't work out for all of them.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
And I'll look back at what happened on today's history there.
Yeah, and everybody's saying Donnie Marie in the 60s, Donnie, is 67.
Okay, I thought they were really in their 70s. So I gave them 10 years, huh?
Well, I don't think it hurt them too bad.
Well, now Marie, she looks just as, and I saw a group family picture, is why I said that. The older brother died at 73 last week.
Yeah.
And I saw a family picture.
And she did Weight Watchers or something, didn't she?
She did. She's still pushing something. She may be still Weight Watchers.
It might be Weight. It's either Weight Watchers. What's that other one? I think Oprah's pushing one or something, too.
Oh, no. All right.
Not real sure. But, Wayne, about 2 weeks ago, when he
was
died.
His name.
Yep.
But the Osmond family, they were big at one time. But
Carl Smith married June Carter before Johnny Cash.
Correct.
See, I told y'all will learn something on this show. Even I learned something.
We'll be right back.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp to trail riding or just working around on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. You know where Meridian Cycles is in Meridian?
Yes. Right there on the highway.
Years ago, directly in front of that is where I used to buy my cowboy hats and stuff in the Horseman's Mart.
Yes.
Well, it's no longer. It closed down and then would later be burned up in the middle of the night. But now it makes a great place for the police to make a stop, is our next point there. As we go here, where the Horseman's Mart is where we went yesterday for a traffic stop that led for a narcotics arrest.
Ooh, ruh-roh raggy.
They were all out. I saw more baggies than I knew what to do with there. We were watching with binoculars as they bagged it.
So you had a close-up view.
Yeah, we did. Don't leave home with your drugs today. It's not smart. They're making traffic stops there. One person taken into custody. Then I saw the good folks at Mitchell Wrecker Service arrive, and they towed it away.
Now, if you have some drugs that you don't know is good or not, it may be out of date, if you'll take that to the sheriff's department, whether you're in the city or the county, the sheriff's department, they can test that for you. So
now, I moved up the road,
done right.
And I got another video that I probably should have loaded with this, because I pull up to 5th Street and to Highway 19 North. Yep. Right there by Mid-South Welding.
AKA Airport Boulevard, AKA Highway 11 South, AKA anything else you want to call it.
Right. All of those the above.
Yeah.
College Park Drive. And I saw something that looked like Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. And Scooby-Doo was about 9 foot tall. I thought, I can see Scooby over the top of cars. And he kept moving. And before long, it was 8, 9 police cars. I thought, what is going on? So I was sitting there by Mid-South, so I had to move around by the bank that went out of business so I could get a better view. And there was a guy carrying a dog about the size of Scooby-Doo.
Carrying him?
Carrying him. He had him in his arms like this. And
so that's why his head was way up.
Scooby was up there holding on as they were following him around trying to make him give up. He had been trespassing and had a bunch of warrants in the home behind there. And the police showed up to tell him that he could no longer do that because there was a piece of paper that said he couldn't do that. He had actually had some warrants, but he had a dog that was not on a leash as he carried the old boy there on his shoulders and tried to get away. This is
So
what
did
this
Scooby just hang on to him?
Scooby held on. He was looking, and I got the video of Scooby in his arms, and I forgot to load that. I used this angle to just show how many police officers showed up. This would be the K-9 division of the Meridian Police Department. They came on out too.
Hey, Daddy, what's all these lights around us for?
And we're going to pan to the left. There's more police over here.
Oh boy!
This is where Scooby lost it, about right here.
Oh, and then Scooby had to take him a ride too. I see the Scooby mobile that come pick him up.
Yeah, they did. He was taken away also, but
poor Scooby.
He done his best to keep old Scooby away from the police as he walked around. And I'm telling you, from a distance, old Scooby was humongous.
It looked like a Great Dane.
It did. As we look at this, warrants for trespassing along with allowing an animal to run free in the city limits. When you get arrested, there could be a lot of charges that are tacked on there that you weren't planning.
So Scooby was walking originally.
Yes, Scooby
until the police got there.
He goes, not my Scooby.
You're not going to go to jail, buddy.
So that is one of the things you see a lot while traveling around Meridian.
Ooh, yeah.
I was over by the Mississippi Auto car complex there, also South Frontage Road yesterday, and I couldn't help but notice traffic was kind of blocked there for a moment or two.
Well, that'll do it right there.
Sure will. Big old Suburban that back in the day there in a van. Mr. Jenkins on the job. As we see that that kind of blocked that left lane there for a little while. No injuries, but it did slow traffic a little while if you were in that area yesterday.
Looked like it knocked the hubcap off.
It did. It just took it right on off there. So those were a few of the things that were happening behind the scenes around Meridian yesterday. Nothing bad, nothing horrible, but joint supplement, Mark says. Marie, boys, times are getting hard up there at the Osmond place.
Oh, I get, yeah. And sold dolls on QVC.
She still does that. There must be money in that.
Well, I hadn't seen QVC, but I have seen some advertisements where they've got dolls that sell for $800-900.
Well, I think Marie's are that way. They're lifelike dolls. Yeah. And I know a girl that designs them for her. That real deal. And it is so lifelike. It almost, and then that gets into those people that buy those
children, and
they put them in the little, and they roll those. Yeah. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I'm just saying that's a big.
It must be.
It's a big market in that.
Yeah.
We have someone who has announced their bid for re-election. Joe Norwood.
Yeah. Joseph Norwood Jr. going to rerun, I guess, for his Ward 3 spot for Meridian City Council. I've worked with him a couple of times. He does support emergency management and public safety, so a good guy. Worked with his dad all the time, Joe Norwood, and he's definitely a big supporter of keeping our area safe.
There you go there. As I mentioned, there was other reports. This would have been 28th Street and 43rd Avenue yesterday. We had reports of gunfire there yesterday also. Again, it was several places around town. We hadn't had anything happen, but we are starting to see some activity again.
Pick back up.
Things have been cold, and it keeps people indoors to where they don't, and the warmer it gets, the more they get out, and the more arguments happen is when we start seeing more of this.
Yeah.
The worst that we've had anywhere in the surrounding communities would be there in Philadelphia, the shooting that took place Tuesday night. That's the biggest thing year to date so far. So there we go there. Let's see here. The baby dolls are frequent. I didn't know that. Given to folks in nursing homes. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I learned something every day.
Yeah.
Always.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. All right. We got more to come this morning as we'll recap some more things. Don't rush off. We'll fill you in. We'll be right back.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the back porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Don't be reading text. Don't be reading text, Scotty. This is, I didn't realize this, part of the Mississippi Air National Guard will be heading to Washington next week to help with the inauguration that's going to be happening with Donald Trump. He is sworn in as the 47th President of the U.S. of A.
Good job. Good job. Glad to see that.
Yeah, that's a big deal for us, for our boys to go up and be a part of that. Mississippi House getting ready to make, we've heard a lot of this. And it will be a decrease steadily over a few years of getting ready to state grocery tax and income tax.
Income tax. Yeah, that's, I mean, you look at some of these other states who
Texas,
don't have it. Tennessee, Florida. You pay a little bit more tax as you spend day to day. But for the most part, income tax is not there. And they're actually making more money now. I think it's a great idea.
So that's one of the things that is happening out there. Arby's, you know, if you were going to rob a place, I don't think it would be Arby's that I would want to go rob. I mean,
somebody got to have a lot of money that I'm going to rob because I got to get to a place that's got my own country.
I guess the sad part about this. Criminals sometimes don't really think things through.
They're looking for that next hit.
Yeah.
And if it's $20, it's $20. They'll worry about everything else later.
We go to Clinton, Mississippi, just outside of the city limits of Jackson, and a man and woman both were arrested for robbing the Arby's.
Wow.
I mean, how many Arby's burgers can be sold to make you think it's a great idea to take that?
Yeah.
Maybe I overthink things for criminals. And it just probably boils down to, Odie, they don't think, they act in that moment.
Well, I'm not saying this one, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them is drug related, and they've got DTs, they need a fix. They don't care about 3 hours from now. They've got to have something to get a fix. This guy down here's got what I need, but he wants $20. So I've got to go in and get me a quick deal. And if I can get $300 out of the register and go on, I will. But they care about right then, right that second,
moment.
And that's it. And it's because the drugs. I don't see that as a mental issue because it was derived from the drugs. The drugs are not a mental issue. The people chose to do the drugs. Now, the drugs may be addictive, but that's not mental. That was a chosen activity, free will, and the drug did what it was going to do. And we all know what drugs can do.
And this leads to the kind of hand in hand here, what you're talking about, as Mississippi looks at these laws that, mental illness is a problem. And we have it here in Meridian.
Yes, we do.
I see it every day to where police are called to a situation and they will arrive and it will be somebody that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And they're something is missing. They don't understand. We have people that go into stores, the same person over and over, and cause problems. Could they have other issues other than mental? They could. But what do? We don't have a hospital to send people to anymore that deals with just mental health problems. How do we fix this? And you have a lot of times where the police don't do anything because they're not allowed to. Well, that's a mental problem, and they back away.
We've got to
because you can be
out.
hurt by somebody that's got a mental.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we've got to, if you're having mental issues, a true mental issue, we need to help you however we can. But if it's drug related, it shouldn't fall under mental. Not everything we have is mental illness.
So what you're saying is, upon that, we should have someone tested to see what's going on there, and then
and then find out if you truly have a mental illness. Let's get you some help and give you opportunities to try and live a life as good as you can.
But y'all think about that, because a lot of times somebody with a mental illness doesn't realize that they're trying to hurt you, and police arrive on the scene and they don't know how to interact. It's a bad situation, and I don't have the answers for this.
Addiction is not a disease.
That's correct.
I'm with you 100%. A lot of people don't want you to. They want you to believe that it's a disease, but it's not. It's
Do you
chosen.
think this would work? As Vance gets ready to go to the White House on Monday, who should take his place? Should it be?
I like Vivek Ramaswamy.
I would think that he would have. I'm glad you did too. Vivek Ramaswamy.
You did good.
Man, I said it fast, so I didn't have to think. But I thought he was probably going to get a bigger role somewhere else.
And I don't know if he's being considered. I know Trump did bring his name up and said, "Hey, I like your ideas, and I do want to talk to you." But maybe he looked up and said, "Hey, let me take this seat. I'd like to get my feet wet into politics and try for senator." So
we'll see.
I like the man.
Mike Pence, former vice president of the United States, getting some flack because he said, "Well, Robert F. Kennedy."
And get this here thingamajig. I don't know why y'all want to stick around over here. I mean, I know we're a great show.
But he's getting a lot of flack, as Mike Pence is saying that Kennedy should not be allowed to serve in the Trump administration. There's not a lot of people that listen to Mike Pence.
He's just mad because he doesn't have another choice to serve with Trump.
He's not. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is happening here. The Biden administration has removed Cuba from state sponsors of a terrorism list. Should that have been done?
I
hadn't done a lot of research into it.
I hadn't either.
But I didn't realize that was a thing and that was coming there. One thing on a local level that we need to bring up, boy, this has been Lauderdale County Junior Livestock Association. This was earlier in the week. We hadn't had a chance to do this.
Yeah.
Look at here. Our kid's done great there.
Senator talked to the other end.
Yes, he did. He was talking right with him. But a good job by our kids there here in Meridian that took part of this in Lauderdale County.
Now, is that where, and I don't know this, but do they use that stick to steer them?
That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, you can see he's tapping him.
Yeah.
Just kind of do that. And we also go down to Clark County. They also had their big 4-H deal there with the livestock also.
Oh.
Big thank you to all the kids there. We got a bunch of them there showing up for this one there. Billy Adam
right in the middle. Yeah. That's a good little show.
Yes, it sure was there. And a big thank you to everybody that took part of all of that. It's good for our kids to be a part of that stuff there. Again, a cold day as we start to warm up. And we're going to get to the 60s today as we get ready for that weather. And we're going to be behind the scenes watching all this stuff that deals with weather over the next few days to let you know truly what is going to happen. Not a lot of Pence fans out there, is it?
Well, going back to it, Kennedy, he's doing something with the health. If I'm not mistaken, I think, was that red number 5 has already been made illegal to put in our food because of cancer.
The red, what's it called?
Red number 5, I think it's just got outlawed to be used in our food. It was outlawed years ago to be used in cosmetic for the causing of cancer. But yet our FDA said, but we don't want you to put it in makeup because it'll cause cancer. But yeah, you can put it in all the food you want to, since all we're going to do is ingest it. But they finally made that illegal.
That don't even add up, does it?
No. No. But I think Kennedy is looking at changing a lot of that and looking at these other countries and saying, why are we the only country that allows these preservatives like we do in our food? Why are we healthy? We're not as healthy as the United States as most of the rest of the world is because of what we eat. And I think it's fixing to be a big change in what we eat, what's allowed to be sold to us, the preservatives that are being used. Red number 3, I guess that's it. Deborah, thank you. Yeah, it's using anything to make, if it's red, it's got this in there. So they're going to have to find another way. Red Kool-Aid it is.
Ooh.
So It's some bad stuff, but our government says you can do it.
Okay, but
I think we're going to get some changes out of this.
That may be a good thing. All right, each and every day we have birthdays. Who we got today having a birthday?
We got today a very special, got to be top of my list.
Who's that?
My daughter, Mamie Madison Gill, 35 years young today. Hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. I hope your day is.
I thought you said you were 37
great.
yesterday. To me.
I am.
Okay.
So, Holly Spears has got a birthday. James Blackwell, 34 years young. Terry Haskett, 52. Amber Goss, 44. And Jackie Lewis is having a birthday. So, happy birthday to each one of y'all. Ashley Parks is having a birthday today. So hope every one of y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.
All right, we just got this in from Meridian that the City of Meridian Public Works Department has lifted the boil water notice in the area from 22nd Avenue to 61st Court. That has been lifted all the way to Highway 39 and King Road. So that's good as we look at that. And we're glad.
Yeah, Walter Hogg's got a birthday. So, Walter.
All right, as we close the show today, what do we have as far as a Bible verse?
We're going to go to Hosea 10:12. Sow to yourselves in the righteousness, reap in the mercy, break up your fallow grounds, for it is time to seek the Lord till he comes and rains righteousness upon you. Man, I tell you what he's done in my life is tremendous. What he can do for you is also great. Pick up a Bible and start reading it today. Find you a church. I'd love you to see you at mine. Scotty Ray love you to see you at his. But it doesn't matter what church you go to. When you get to the pearly gates, they don't say Methodist over here, Baptist over here, and Pentecostal over here. There's only one way to heaven, and that's through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter where you go to church as long as you keep God in the forefront. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see y'all tomorrow for Fun Friday, the whole gang. Until then, have a wonderful day, and we love you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.